Hello everybody, welcome back to PadfootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice behind the icon, and today we are back in Riverside Park one more time. It's very interesting. There's the music. I was like, there's no music, no nothing in the background, makes it so quiet. But welcome back to Riverside Park here in Planet Coaster, and let me tell you, there's been a lot since you guys have been away. What I decided to do, even though I love to show you guys every single step that I take when I'm making these, we needed this park ready by Memorial Day, regardless of the coronavirus issue. We needed it ready to go. So I actually had to take into my own hands, off camera, to do a lot of work to get us into a spot, because we still have our shooting range game, we've still got to detail around the roller coaster, the American Zone, detailing, and to start looking at our next project, all within just a couple weeks. And when these videos are only about 16 to 30 minutes long, I knew that was going to start interrupting, so I had to start doing some stuff by hand. The first thing that you are going to notice, and you're going to see it in the thumbnail, and you can see it here, we have a different color scheme now. We are no longer green and black. We thought that was a little bit too bright, so our new colors are actually blue and white with this black. They're all custom colors that we found that are just a little bit easier on the eyes. It's a rebrand for the 2020 season as we try to make this such a successful park. But we've got a lot to show you guys in this episode. This episode, just so you know, we probably won't be building anything. It's going to be a lot of show and tell of everything that we've done from the front gates all the way around the park to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items that are now around the park to make it, one, more realistic, and two, to be the dream that we've always wanted it to be for Riverside. So first off, biggest thing, rebrand. You can actually see the lights everywhere. Everything is a different color, but we are going to start ourselves way over here at the entrance. Now, we made the entrance last time. We still need to finish up here at these two ends. But the biggest thing is we took out these barriers. There's still a couple sitting here, and we replaced it with fencing. This fencing is actually going to go around mostly the whole entire park of anywhere where we don't want guests to go, which is more or less these areas. When you guys saw it before, we did have the road here and some blocks. We've actually changed it to be a completely different scene. Sorry about my sinuses. It is raining. It is horrible. The wind's going at 40 miles an hour outside. It's a good time. Let's actually just bring you in. Let's hold on. I think we can do this a little bit better. Let's go here into staff, which is all worked around as well. That's interesting. They've got nicknames. That's fun. There you are. This is the crew member that I was looking for. All right, we are now in what we call guest view. And we are going to bring ourselves outside. Ignore anything that's here. Ignore that. Ignore all that. Ignore this, that. Yep, ignore that over there as well. And we're going to act like we're coming right into the park. Now you come up, and I need some sort of light system here. I'm looking to see if anybody who's made those lights has like the little, walking person or the hand. And we will go from there. Sorry, we've got all four dogs just sitting right up here at the top of the stairs, so I'm watching them intently. But as you guys know, we've put in this new crossway here, which I think looks so much better than the bridge over. So I'm very, very happy with that. But you can come in and you have two ways to go. You can either go into the main entrance if you already have your tickets, or you can head to customer service. Let's head to customer service first. As you can see over where the garden was by itself, we brought it in. We brought more trees in. If you look around, I wanted things hidden. So if you look, you just got the entrance to the park. You do have the tower right over here. That's brand new. So I haven't worked into the sight lines of that. But I can't fit any more trees here. So you're going to have to see it anyways. It towers above the park. That only makes sense. We've got some of our new drink carts here, but of course not branded for Gulpy or Pip Shot as we go through. But of course we've got our new lights that are no longer on the curb. They are on the ground. That was a design choice. You're going to see a lot of these light trees all over the place with these Fresnels with shutters. They are all specifically focused. We have over 1,000 in the park now, bringing ambient light to paths, to rides, to just a little bit about everything, trying to make it seem like a high-quality park. So you're going to see them everywhere. Some are more hidden than others. Some I didn't feel like they needed to be. If we're talking about the amount of detail that we've gone in, I'm not going to try to find that one, but I can find this one. Each pole has its own power box on the ground. Each light is individually focused and gelled to meet our requirements. But coming through here, we've got the beautiful, we've filled in the forest in the back, so you know there's a road there, but you can't quite see it. It's not grabbing your eye. Filled it in with a lot of stuff on the grass. There is one piece missing here as we were doing some work earlier. But we've got a nice water feature here. Even if you can't really see it, you'd be able to hear it and smell it. It just fell into the water. And this filled in the space a little bit better than just being open with cinder block, barriers, and a road. So that's all looking good. I also wanted to drape this a little bit because the wood then just stood out. So we've got some creep vine crawlers there. And we filled in all this area with bushes and flowers just to make it look a little bit nicer as we head into the main building. As you head in, not much has changed except you do have payphone services here in the back. We did put glass up for the ticket windows. We just figured that that was probably the best possibility. I wish I could edit these though, because these are not our prices. We did adjust our prices as well around the park. And of course I've got all 4 dogs all competing for 1 dog bed, so that's the loud noise that you're hearing. All seems to suit a little bit better as we're jumping over our barriers here, but you also have the ability to grab wheelchairs here. A couple things that I want you all to notice around the park. The park has Wi-Fi for everybody. I'm putting big quotes around that because I don't think you could have bandwidth that could handle that much. But you will see these Wi-Fi routers hidden around the park. This one I left obvious so that the purpose of these videos. You've got new signage as well. I realize that there's no ceilings really on here. They're just tall ceilings. That'll change for future buildings and we do refurbishments, but we just didn't have the time this time around to do that. These are our new colors with the new trash bins. We've got the blue and white, which is just a lot more subtle than the black and green. So this rebrand I really felt needed to happen as we move forward. All looks good. Toilet signs, trash cans, which you guys saw us put in last time. There's a lot more around the park. Water fountains at appropriate heights as well. Took a long time to figure that out, dropping crew and figuring it out. We've got extra trash bins, 1 payphone here. I can't remember why I put it there. And extra wheelchairs in the back here of guest services. As well, every building is getting its exit sign, which is also becoming very important. As we go for the world of realism, we're going to step out here, and it's changed a little bit to fill in this area. We cut back the garden, and we put stroller and wheelchair rental right across from information building, which does obviously have the glass window on it. The AEDs are here from last episode. Those are not new to you guys, but as you can see, we do have these Fresnels all around. To be able to have it. We have the concrete barriers here because we're going to open up things systematically for a soft opening once the coronavirus whole thing, COVID-19, I know I'm not supposed to be saying coronavirus on YouTube, oops, goes away. We'll talk about more up front here in a bit, but if you look, that's all nice and tucked away as the puppy decides to kick over her food bowl. But let's head, if you were going to be heading inside. Now, this needs to be duplicated. This was kind of like one of the last things that I put in because, obviously, you can walk right through. This is bag check for anybody who's been to a theme park anytime recently. You stop. They look through your bag before you go in. They've got bins to put contraband. We are going to put crew members just stationed right here. There's your realism for you. Wi-Fi zone, just letting everybody know that there's Wi-Fi through the park. It would be advertised. Signs the same, just new coats of paint. Looks really nice. And sight lines. That was some of the most important things. And if you look, you can no longer see the roller coaster. Now, there's a reason for that, and we'll go through all that detail a little bit later. You can obviously see the lift hill here, but that's a nice sneak peek that we decided to keep in there. Let's keep on heading inwards. Now, if you look, one of the biggest things that you'll notice through here, obviously besides that, there are just lights everywhere and anywhere, and you'll see that when we decide to show you at night what everything looks like. But of course, we have the new entranceway, we have the barrier system, lighting. You come through, you pick your lane, go through the metal detector, there will be a crew member here, into this gully, through the turnstiles, and you are able to head into the park. Now, everything's still a work in progress. I don't know some of the stuff I'm still going to fix. I know some of the stuff I'm going to do with you guys. But we've got Definitely new signage just to show where everything is if you were a new person. We do have fencing around, more shrubbery. There needs to be at least one more there because I don't want to just see this is boring. That patch of grass is boring to me. We've got concrete laid everywhere now, and of course we've actually blocked off Old Riverside. Okay, so yes, I know a lot's been going on. Wi-Fi router. We're gonna put some sort of advertisements here. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. But as we continue on, obviously there's some new lighting all over the place. The lighting got completely stripped out of the park and redone. Here you've got kind of a quick vending machine alley as you head towards the bathrooms and the ATM that's over here on the wall. Around the park as well, you'll find these drink stations, these water fountains. Really excited about those just for detail-wise. We've gone through and customized all the prices for every shop, for every vending machine as well. Just trying to fill in the area a little bit more. I don't like the dead space. Like, I need something else here. You know, there's just some dead space that I feel like we need to get rid of to make everything look good. I like that this is towering over everything as we try to hide the rest from the world, but let's head ourselves a little bit further in. Now, a couple things before you even look up. This sign is going to change. It's just so big. So what it's actually going to be is we're going to take out a couple logs, and it'll just be one log across for each part of the sign. But this looked better than the itty-bitty sign that we had before for Old Riverside. Now, I think we still have one over there to compare to, so let's just go check really quick before... Wow, this person's excited. She's not even on the ground. Let's see if I still have the Old Riverside sign over here. Yes, I do. So there's something like that versus that. You know, what are you gonna do? So this looked better just making it out of the... That's actually spooky wood from the haunted house. And it is meant to be crooked. Okay, but the logs in the back are just too big. So we're gonna work on that. Well, let's actually stand in place and show you guys around first. First thing that you're going to notice is that there is a gondola system now that towers over the park and over the paths that heads that way. That's a whole nother world of fun that we're going to get into in that direction, and you can just look, and there's just all kinds of new stuff here and new stuff everywhere, and like there's a sign and this and that. There's a lot of stuff. First thing I do want to show you though is that all of our crew members are now in the park colors, more or less. A great blue visor and pants, all except one ride, which is actually over here, that got rebranded and repainted. You guys will see in a bit, but we're just trying to make this park more consecutive. But let's go through Old Riverside first to show you around some of the new stuff that we did. Obviously, we've got the blocked off of the floor area just to keep it in the magic. This building was added. That was one of the only things that was really added, except a whole bunch of foliage. Park maps are all around the park now as well. I think that's very important. Handicap entrance signs and handicap entrances have been updated, which has been really nice to be able to do. Nothing has changed here. The mountain is a little bit bigger, and you guys will see why a little bit later. Popping through the path, nothing's changed in here except a couple more lights to make it a little bit more bright as we go through here. I don't know if you can see the other detail back there. Each building has its air conditioning unit of the ones that would have air conditioning inside. The only other big change that happened in here was, of course... Hi, Ella. I don't know what she's doing. She's trying to, like, get underneath my chair. Okay, sorry. Trying to let the puppy have freedom, and it's paranoia all around. So, the only thing that really changed in here is that there's lighting everywhere now. It was completely dark in here, so we've really taken that forward, and that there's wood here, and lockers as needed for the railroad. The other thing that you can see is that there's a fire hose on each end. Now, that's a safety precaution, but also in case somebody throws up on the ride, it's ready to be cleaned out. The only other thing that you're going to notice is that the trains have a new fresh coat of paint. They're red now. We will get out there with all those details later. Going through the exit sign and the handicap entrance. As you see, we can no longer jump over into the ride. So that's one of the most important things that we did. We went for ride safety. The fence line goes all the way down now. We are just trying to keep people out of where they should not be. Another thing that you'll see hidden around here, up top, over here on there, on top of every building. I just clicked out of the game. You're gonna notice these fernels that will help light this up at night and make it look great. But heading down, you're gonna notice that this entrance is closed off temporarily until I know exactly what we're going to do. But we're gonna head down. The pathway is gone. This is gonna be an outdoor picnic area for our main restaurant that still does not have a name. So we put Gulpy and Pipshot here just to make it a little less obvious that it's closed. As you can see, it's just gone. You're gonna rope around this way to yet again another drinking fountain. More foliage so you cannot see the ride. I've been trying to do that intentionally to hide away a lot of the new things that are on the ride. And there's a sneak peek there of all the extras that are on the ride in case you've seen it before. If you're brand new, welcome first off. And I'm happy to have you here, but this episode's a lot of updates. As we go through, we have not worked anything with the restaurant yet. That's something that's still on my list to do. And it still needs this outdoor seating area. As we continue through, obviously, Copper Strike, I think that's what we ended up calling it, because there's already a name for it, is still in the same location. That has not changed. The only thing that has changed, and we'll pop through here, is that the entrance is going to go this way. We just don't know what it's going to happen over there. But as we head through, it's still under construction. One of the biggest things that we have done, like I said, is safety. We've got the pretty much anti-climb gates around the roller coaster. Now, that does take some theming away. But when I don't have enough room to put something here to make sure somebody does not accidentally or purposely fall into the way of the train, this is one of the big safety things that we've been putting in. So we've got this fencing all the way around and show you guys what we're going to be working with. We still have the detailing and the paint and everything that we need to do with this ride before May. But it's more or less ready to go. So we are doing the fast pass lane. It shortcuts all of this. Still worth the money in my personal opinion. It's really not that much. As we go up, it still needs this building and all of its detail. But that's the utilization of this space. You would ride it. Hop yourself off. And, of course, we're still fenced in. And fenced in over there. There's got to be some detail and some building and stuff. Just haven't gotten there yet. And, of course, you get to enjoy this view that actually goes out over the water as we pop back into the path. So that's the detail that's been done there. Overall, nothing's been done with antique cars yet. That is something that'll be done probably at the same time as we start to build this building, which will be probably next episode as well. So I hope you guys can see why I'm having to do a lot of this behind the scenes. There are just thousands of things that I wanted to put in that I wanted ready for May, and I'm one person, and I can't fit it all into a half-an-hour video. So Copperhead Strike is ready to be painted and almost ready to go. This area is going to have a gift shop, I think, in this area. There's going to be bathrooms here and a couple other things down there to fill in the space to get ready for the next area that's going to be near here. Let's head out this surface entrance that actually might become a permanent thing. As we head over to the beginning of our staff building, there's going to be a big building here that's got a garage for all of our maintenance vehicles to be worked on. It's going to have a staff room attached. It's going to be just like a headquarters. But let's pop into some of our new stuff. That truck was still being put together. If you look, we've got our UTVs for going through the park. We've got our 4 maintenance vehicles and our 4 pretty much after-hours cleaning vehicles, lawnmowers. We've got a whole bunch of these that are just going to be around because I feel like that'd be the best way to get around. This is our future stuff. This is the stuff I'm putting here to remember. Shelves, we're going to put gift shops and benches and fireworks. Fireworks need to be ready by Memorial Day if we open. Cleaners are lines, that's actually plural, of porta potties and extra bins and etc. Our scissor lifts, our forklifts, which are being switched out from these to these. Concrete dividers, barricades, and over 2,000 chairs. These were originally all single stack chairs. We did a lot of copy and pasting and bundling. And the reason why we're doing that is because I would love to have a summer concert series. Set up a stage, set up chairs, but you gotta have some place to store it. So I figured this was probably a good spot as any for now, because it'd be a temporary thing, and it's probably where we'd put up our Halloween haunted house and Christmas when it finally gets here. Lots of little details that are probably not needed, but I take a lot of pride and joy in this world that we've created, and I want to keep it going. So that's our staff parking facility for at least our equipment. Okay, we're gonna pop around here. Making sure the puppy's still being good. And that's actually it for this side of the park. Ezzy, that's not how you get your food bowl, child. Alright, let me unclick that. Can I not unclick that tree? Alright, well, we're going to have that glowing tree in the distance. But let's head through Western World here. Let's head through Old Riverside. Really, nothing's happened to the left yet because that is going to be a brand new land besides the gondola system. Now, the gondola system goes on to the other side of this American fair world. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But let's start over here and let's get ourselves going. As you can see, we put in a bunch more vending machines here. I think they're neat, and I'm glad that we have them, so I wanted to make sure we put them in. Lighting has been installed, handicap entrances as well. The ride has been refurbished and repainted and labeled as the Carousel established 1884. Just picked a date out of my brain to put that in there. That ride would not be open on soft opening. But here's the gondola system going over. We picked white because it was the least amount of eyesore as it was going through. So subject change, but I think that's probably a good start. Continuing on over here, you've got your ride measurement system that is at the beginning of every ride, I think, at this point. That is complete. Like Carousel, that's a complete ride. Runaway Canyon, or whatever we rebranded it as, is complete. But let's head through here. Lighting and trash cans and a couple extra benches is all that's really through here. We've got these pip shop set up throughout. That's really about all that's new through there. Picnic area just got water fountains now. We have new locker systems for the Dipper. The Dipper has been vegified, as I've been calling it. We've got veggies everywhere just to make it look a little bit better. And we did add a fast pass lane to be able to get yourself through here even faster for the ride. There is a couple trees that are missing here as we went through, and we're getting ready for the American land. But you can see there's also speaker systems in the ground, but a lot of vegetation just to hide everything behind. This fence is actually going away because there's a second one that's behind it. But that's the original. Let's pop up into the Dipper. The only thing new for the Dipper is it has been painted. Where this was orange before, it is now blue, and we made the cars a little bit more vibrant but still kept their classic look instead of upgrading them to modern cars. So you're gonna have still about the same feel. Exit signs were installed and this ramp was adjusted to be handicap accessible as indicated there. We put in a bunch of different little photo opportunity spots, which I think are really neat image for the signs, but I think everything is starting to come together. Maps come out from every single ride, so you know where to go next. There is an editable one of these when we finally make our own. This is obviously not Riverside. Continuing on as we go through, the only thing is we painted this to match the building a little bit more so it didn't stand out. We actually painted the whole thing, I forgot about that. We've got a speaker system out here now, so it's a little bit louder to be able to hear these guys. These are temporary, so they can be taken down when needed. But figured when we're getting ready for summer, might as well leave it. And here, the only thing that's been changed is, because when we put these all in, I forgot I'm not in that mode. When we put these all in, I didn't even know these existed yet. But items for sale, and you've got all your extras, and how much everything costs, and XYZ. We went through that with every single thing that we own. New ceiling fans are installed, and lighting. Lighting is actually really tricky when you don't have a low ceiling to actually capture the whole area. So this is a temporary thing until I can really figure out a good light that fills the area that looks realistic. Bathrooms haven't changed. I've never even put panels on it. I don't think this area is destined for this world because it's, older. ATM was installed, though. That was one of the big complaints that we actually saw. Exit sign is installed as well. Water fountain off to the right. Trash cans and everything is the same. The next thing is Insanity. This had its own name, but honestly I can't remember what it was originally. But it is Insanity now, and of course it's got a custom sign with the same letters as, the entrance to the park, but I still thought it was actually really neat to just to be able to give it a sign. The other things that you'll see here, obviously filled in with foliage, once again greenery just to fill in the gaps, so you're not seeing these vast openings of land that are doing nothing. We do have the protective cage around it. That's just for everybody's safety. And I decided to put it on trussing because I thought it looked, I don't know, more menacing. But this has been refurbished. Every ride is actually being refurbished over this time, and I'm really excited about that. Now, I know this doesn't seem like it's been a lot of work, but this has taken 24 hours total of working time. And we're still far from it. So this is why I've had to be doing stuff without you guys here, because it's been a lot of planning. Now, there's still a lot to see from the air, but we still have a little ways to go to our new zone that it's not even named yet. We're going to pop through this fence, and you can see our workers are over here. We just finished the path and the ride laid out the other day, a lot of concrete. But as you can see, our American world is coming back together. It's going to bring our total of 6 rides to 20. That's a very big gap when we're asking people to pay like $30 to get in here. So some of the things that I want to, we're not done with any sort of detailing. There's no fencing. It was just rides at that point. This tower is probably like the spectacle because you can see it from anywhere. I love it. You've got, I can't remember if we're calling it the Ring of Fire, but the gondola system actually goes through. I just thought that was kind of neat. So I think that's a neat thing to be able to look at. We moved our gazebo here because it felt right. And you'll notice here, it just felt very American world for me. All of our vending machines go all the way down. But yeah, so you got the Tilt-A-Whirl over there, Ring of Fire. You've got the Zipper here, which does need a different paint scheme because that green is just so bright. And then you've got some of our classic rides here, but they're at different angles just to make it a little bit more exciting. The entrances are very close together. Porta potties here for work area. Scrambler has been rebranded as well. Very excited about that, but you still get to be able to see the ride. Needs a lot of foliage and fencing still, but it's looking good. We've moved the kids coaster. This is its final location. Still needs foliage and theming and a building, but it's looking pretty good. We've got a whip over there. There's going to be a kid zone somewhere over here eventually. Ferris wheel is brand new as well. Teacups got moved over here. Still needs some work with that. Bumper cars, all the little things are starting to come together, but I'm very happy about it. Go-karts has been moved here. I think we're just going to keep it just as go-karts. We went through and made the colors a little bit less bright. They're still bright, but they're a little bit more realistic than the Planet Co default ones. But that is our area here. Our gondola system, a lot of people were like, why? You can walk there, it's not that big of a park. Well, the thought is this is actually... We'll have an entrance over here, a mini one, but this is actually a parking lot for crew members. So the gondola system will actually be coming from this parking lot. Some great textures that we found for asphalt and parking spots. You've got handicap zones close. Ignore the tree here. This was just built the other day. Sidewalks and curbs around this building. I still got to look at the entranceway and everything here, and reminding myself to put a hose, but... You've got the main entrance in, you stop, and you figure out where you want to park. There's no lighting or anything yet, no signage, but this is the start of our parking zone, where you would take the gondola into the park after going through some sort of ticket area. I don't know where it's going to be at. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate that into the park yet, but we will find out. Oh, and of course a bus stop, a bus stop area. But those are our little details to try and make it a little bit more realistic. Now let's pop out of this view and let's look and this is what the park looks like from above now. This is all new. We still have this area that we can add on to for the land that we own. This is going to be, well, actually that's the last thing. We do have a ship in the bay. It needs to be rotated. But this is teasing to everybody who's going to be able to see it what the next attraction is going to be. We're going to have a Pirates World with some sort of stunt show, and I think it's going to be a good time. Fireworks and everything. Fireworks are actually going to be, even though we don't own the land, technically, are going to be launched from this part of the river. Gonna look on sightlines and everything, but that is definitely something for a future episode. I know there's been a lot of talking in this episode. I know it's been very long already of just listening to me talk, but there's just so much that we've added, and it's so funny because there is a lot, but it's a lot that's not seen. There's signs everywhere. There's routers everywhere. Where's the one for this ride? It's inside, I think. Or, no, it's hidden. It's right here. Like, we put many little details around this park trying to make it look more realistic. And we still have this area that needs to be done. And then we've got land expansions. Our land technically goes all the way all around. So I want to finish this area, finish in this area as much as we can. And then eventually we're going to come across the river. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but eventually when we're big enough. The other sign here is being repainted now. As you guys can see, scaffolding's up. There's a lot of these power boxes around for many of the rides, hidden around as much as possible. Air conditioning units are installed everywhere as well. Solar panels are on top here. Probably spread them out eventually, but they're a little bit tricky to get on there. So, you know, we are just trying to get detailing anywhere and everywhere that we can here in the park. Now, the biggest thing, what did we end up calling you? Old Riverside Railroad Escape. That is the name of the ride. We've actually changed the sign too. Look it actually has theming all the way around now. It's got rocks and everything all around. There still needs to be a little bit put onto the mountain, but it has been themed. Before, if anybody remembers, this was just a wide open patch of dirt. We filled it in with trees, rocks, shrubs, lighting everywhere, so you actually feel like you're going into the cave, out of the cave. You're about to go up the mountain. We repositioned our wolves that are up top with lighting that needs bushes around it, but we haven't gotten to it yet. And then, of course, we still have some behind-the-scenes area to get up to maintenance these lights. We've got these green metal stairs. But yeah, if you looked, we just got rocks everywhere. We expanded this mountain to hide as much as we could from the guests for this area. This ride does need a little bit of touch-up for realism. There needs to be some brakes put in. I know we were looking at when we originally built this ride, but we built this ride a long time ago, so it seems. But now you're going in and out of these dungeons, these holes in the ground, whipping around all kinds of craters, and just, it feels much more immersive. As we go through, you can see that there's lighting everywhere, and you guys will see it here in a bit. Also, just to talk about details, every roller coaster where it should has sensors now. You can see them. That's the amount of little detail that we've been putting in. As we go through, if I find it, we put it in. And now we go up the hill to yet again our painted trains. Go through some foliage again, back through this over-swooping cave mining system here. Up, over, and you've got lights everywhere, and it's hidden away. And it started with me just putting rocks here. I was just gonna make these little clusters to hide some of the lights, and that's what it became. Now it actually feels like it's part of the park. This is what we want. This ride actually takes up a lot more room than I thought it did. But this is the realism that we're striving for. You got trees and bushes, so you can't see the fence behind. You can't just see. What I want to eliminate is seeing like this. It would never look like this. So that's the detailing that we're trying to put in here. Okay. Last thing that I do want to be able to show you guys. Let's get down to this level first. Back it on up here. Let's switch it to nighttime. Let's get rid of that. And welcome now to the newly improved Riverside. The choosing of what I wanted the lights to look like actually is what changed the color. It came to me one day and I was like, let's make it blue and white. Let's make it blue instead. But these are your ambient lighting coming into the park. We light up anything and everything that we possibly can. It just feels a little bit better. I like it. I hope you guys do too. Some parks do it, some parks don't. But it brings everything to life. It brings this whole rock feature to life. It's that. When I turned that blue, I was like, that's a good blue. Let's do that. Of course, the building lights up. Ignore the lighting in here. That needs to be adjusted. Riverside, still nice and bright and vibrant. You pop through here, you got that mixture of blue and purple all the way through security. As you come through, it gets a little bit more blue. We originally were doing green and purple. Everything was green and purple, and I was like, you know what? That just doesn't fit. So that was the change. The park is all nicely lit up. There's new lighting installed around the dipper to make it a little bit more brighter as we go through. The inside always had lights. That was part of when we did the refurbishment of the building. There is finally lighting in here. It's supposed to be bright, just seems some stuff that we need to work with. We come through. Insanity's got it lit up. It looks great. Insanity's the only one where they are wearing black shirts. Don't know why. I was playing around with different rides having different shirts. I don't think I like it, but we'll see. Okay. There is no lighting done in the Americas area yet, so we'll leave that. The carousel's light needs to be adjusted because it was not originally that sign, so we've upgraded that. Old Riverside needs its own lighting system. But as you see, looking through here, the buildings now all have glow to them. Orange or yellow. Should be mostly orange. The yellow's coming from the street light. But if you look, that's what all of these ambient lighting to the top of the buildings are doing. It's just bringing it a little bit more to life, which I really enjoy. We haven't gone really that far over there yet. The train is updated with its own lighting to just give it some life. Okay, nothing's happened over here at Copperhead Strike yet. Yet again, that's just an area that still needs work. But the biggest thing that took a whole day was getting the lighting installed. Well, first off, in the building. The building finally has lighting, which looks great. In the ride, there are 300 lights in here alone, if not more. Because I think I actually ended up losing count because we did more. And we went through and we pointed every single light to where we wanted it to be. This gives a whole new feel to the ride. And even our wolves up top have lights as well. We have used these lights incredibly amount, and it's just been fantastic. We add some ambient lighting to the train down here just to give it a little bit more feel as you go through. I think it looks pretty good. And really, that's what you guys have missed. I wanted to fill you in on it. I'm sorry I couldn't have brought you on that journey. I was thinking about time lapses, but literally, there was days where I was sitting here for 8 hours at a time just to do some of this detailing, and we're still got a lot to go. The things that I can tell you is that there's going to be a gift shop here, and the gondola system. Now, the gondola system might just pop right into the Western world and leave this area. We are going to be putting, like I said, a log flume here for pirate themed, and probably using this area for roller coaster and other buildings and exhibits. We're going to have a dock here, or we'll have one of these ships based, and we'll have another ship or fort on the other side where we're actually going to be partially renting this island. No guests can be allowed, but we will be able to use it for pyrotechnics and show experiences with animatronics. But that is where we stand with Riverside right now. All of a sudden, I just decided I wanted to rebrand it and take this super seriously. And this is what we got. And we still got a long way to go. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you enjoy what you saw, let us know down in the comments below. Always open to your suggestions as well. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to show support, a subscribe is always appreciated. It just lets us know that we're doing something right, and it does put a big smile on our face every day when we get to see that number. But with that, I thank you guys so much for coming out to this one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.